Have you ever played a chess game in which you are up a full night and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you blunder your queen? Why does this keep happening to you? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to explain in today's video, as well as a couple of solutions. So buckle up and get ready. This is going to be a very important video for you, and so you do not want to miss out. So the first tip I have for you is to stop playing blitz. This means stop playing 3-minute or 5-minute games and start playing 10-minute games. The reason for this is because of 5-minute game, you simply do not have enough time to think. You probably only have like 10 seconds to think of a good move, and you really think 10 seconds is enough time for a good move? No, of course not. This is why a 10-minute game is 10 times better than a 5-minute. Like I usually tell anybody in your specific situation. 10-minute games teach you how to play better moves. 5-minute games teach you how to play the moves you already know faster. Now the second tip I have for you is to stop getting tunnel visioned. Pretty simple tip, which comes mostly from practice. However, I think it's necessary to say that without this, every other tip I have is completely and utterly worthless. Combining this with even longer games, and you will start getting only like 1 to 2 blunders a game, and maybe even eventually 0. After switching to 10-minute games, you will realize that you will have a lot more time to think of ways to not blunder. But what do you do during that time? Well, let me explain. Checks, attacks, and forks. That is what you need to do. During the extra time that you will now have, you will need to look for those 3. First, look to see if you have a check. Then look to see if you can attack another piece. And finally, look for some forks that you could do. Forks specifically, since they are quite hard to spot sometimes. How will this help you stop blundering? It won't, but what will is the following. Thinking like the opponent. What does that mean? Basically, during that extra time that you will now have, you also need to look for checks, attacks, and forks, but now you need to do the exact same thing for your opponents. What do I mean by that? Basically, you see, what can your opponent play on the next move? Can he fork your king and queen on the next move? Can he, I don't know, take your bishop which is hanging on the next move? If he can't do that, perfect, play the move. But if he can, fix that, and then you can play your move. You might think that seems a bit complicated, all that I said, but really no, it's pretty simple. Basically, all that I said in this video is to give yourself more time by playing longer games, stop getting tunnel visioned by looking for checks, attacks, and forks, and finally, do the same exact thing but for the opponent, which is the most important part. That is what I personally did to stop blundering, and I can safely say that it worked for me, and it would work for you too. Without further ado, that is the end of today's video. I sure hope you enjoyed, and you can click on the other 2 videos which should pop up right now. Have a great day.